Hey, so today I'm going to be talking about 6 reasons why clients don't trust natural hairstylists and how we can restore that relationship. So I recently posted a TikTok video and a YouTube short about the signs of a toxic client-stylist relationship. And it has proven to be the most viewed and shared video I've posted since the start of my channel. Over the years, I've heard horrible stories from clients about the way that themselves were treated and the disappointment with the overall experience with professional stylists. I also noticed how natural hairstylists specifically have gotten a really bad reputation for not knowing what they're doing, which has caused a lot of you with natural hair to start taking your own hair care into your own hands, kind of DIYing it, when really you would like to be able to go to salon and just know you're going to be in good hands. So instead of focusing on the negative, my intention in this video is to provide solutions that are going to help restore trust and build a positive relationship between you and your natural hairstylist. So the first complaint that I hear, and the most common, is that natural hairstylists should not only be doing silk pressed hair or using heat. A real natural hairstylist should be able to work with clients with their natural hair texture and give them the choice to use heat or not. Now, this is where you as the client have to be held accountable for how well you're vetting the people that you're booking your appointments with. If you see that they're calling themselves natural hairstylists or adding specializing in natural hair, this is where it's up to you to go to their website, go to whatever booking site they have, read reviews, go to their social media pages. Because just because they label themselves as a natural hairstylist or state that they specialize in natural hair doesn't mean that it's going to be in its natural state. And it doesn't mean that they're trying to misinform you. If someone specializes in, let's say, doing silk pressed hair, it's still natural hair. So they can definitely say that they specialize in natural hair. However, if you know you don't want to silk press, again, this is where you have to insert yourself. Gone are the days where you can see somebody in the mall, get a number of the hairstylist, and then just book an appointment. Now we have so many ways to be able to see people's work, read reviews, before we even book an appointment. The second biggest complaint is that natural hairstylists are expensive. So the first thing when it comes to that is that expensive is subjective. What may cost a lot of money to you may not cost a lot of money to the next person. But I will say that me being a natural hairstylist who works only with clients' hair in its natural state, I feel like expense is what you put value on. So if you don't value keeping your hair in hairstyles that are protective without adding hair, or even adding hair, but if you're not valuing those things, if your main value is just do something quick, slap it on, I don't care if you use glue, I don't care if it's tight, just kind of like the end result is what's most important to you, you're going to be able to find people who are working from home, who are maybe in a salon that's not that professional, just doesn't provide the level of service that would meet your budget. Because if you want, let's say, to go to a stylist who has a salon suite, for instance, like myself, and you're getting one-on-one time and attention, you are getting someone who's using the best products for your hair, someone who's educating you during the appointment, someone who's just creating a vibe for you while you're there, you have to look at it from a more holistic place, not just from, I got these 2-strand twists, but she charged me $150. Okay, she charged you $150. It wasn't just for the 2-strand twist. We're using product, we're putting our skill, our time, our knowledge, and if you find a really good one, 9 times out of 10, their prices are going to reflect the level of service that you're going to get when you go to them. This is where reading reviews and vetting the stylist is really important. Because if all you're focused on is the money, then again, you can find anyone, anywhere to do your hair really cheap. But what's the quality that you're gonna get? What type of condition is your hair gonna be in? You have to put value in what you feel is important enough to be able to say, hey, I'm worth that. I'm going to pay that because I know when I go to this person, I'm going to get what I want and my hair is going to be kept healthy. Now, if someone's charging expensive prices, in your opinion, and they're not showing up in a way that makes you feel like the price is merited, then sometimes you don't know until the first appointment. And then once you make that first appointment, that's when you can decide. Sometimes it does happen that way. But when it comes to prices, the main thing that I want you to take away is there's a lot of components when it comes to prices. Right now, inflation is at an all-time high. Everything's going up except for our pay in the majority of cases. You have to take in the fact that hairstylists are not here, I don't care how cool we may be with our clients, to make friends. Like, we have to make a living from what we're doing. And our ability to make that living is to stay competitive within the field. If you feel like prices are expensive, I think that it's a good thing for you to maybe look at several different natural hairstylists who provide the service that you want, and then see how much is being charged. And you'll find that for the most part, you're gonna get a pretty even kill. Some may be higher than others for whatever reasons, but again, whatever you value, that's where you would place on what you're willing to spend. The third complaint that I hear is that people who are calling themselves natural hairstylists don't know how to properly detangle tight, kinky hair. So this is a big thing, detangling. There's levels to everything, and that's one of my favorite sayings, because in my experience, I've literally noticed clients, specifically when I was doing little girls' hair, who would only come every maybe 3 to 4 months after keeping the child's hair in a bun, never combing it all the way through, and by the time they get to me, it's matted. And this would be a repeated thing. And I've also seen adult clients do that, where they pretty much wait until they go to a stylist to actually comb out their hair. It's like they're just waiting on the appointment. One of the ways that you can know if you're dealing with somebody who's properly detangling versus you being uncomfortable with the fact that your hair was really tangled is the method in which they do it. Detangling afro textured hair should start from the bottom. You can comb out the root a little bit, but it's gonna start out the bottom, go all the way up. You can comb out the root until the tangle's kind of like in one bunch. Once you get that tangle in one bunch, make sure it's really, really wet. You can spray it if it starts to dry, and just slowly pick out. Don't go down. You're gonna be picking out. And that's the easiest way. At least that's the way that I do it, and it's always worked. It's able to detangle hair in a very short amount of time. And that's with clients who have really long, thick, dense hair. And number 4 will be that they don't shampoo my hair. I have to arrive with it clean and blown out, sometimes even flat iron. So with that, I don't know of any natural hairstylists that don't shampoo. I will say I know plenty of braiders who don't shampoo. A lot of braiders like to call themselves natural hairstylists nowadays because, like I said in the beginning, to be able to say that, it's like you're trending and you're putting yourself in like this niche market. It doesn't mean that you've merited that through education and through experience with natural hair clients. It just means that you're braiding hair. The clients who come to you may not have relaxers, so now you can label yourself as a natural hairstylist. And because braids are considered a natural hairstyle. Even when I did braids with extensions, I still made sure I shampooed and deep conditioned every single client. I did have a few clients that were really good with taking care of their own hair, and I would give them the option just to shave off some time. I had no issue with them coming with their hair already blown out because I knew that they knew what they were doing. They knew the proper shampoos and conditioners to use. They knew the proper heat protection to use that would keep their elasticity and not end up damaged from the blowout. The 5th complaint is that the stylists don't teach the clients anything. I saw this one video where this sister said, I still find myself going home and watching YouTube to learn about my hair after I've been going to the same stylist for years. Communicating with clients does not take any money from our pockets, but it's unfortunate that in this industry, sharing with clients for some reason for so long was so taboo. I remember back in the day getting my hair done and none of the bottles had labels on them. And don't you dare ask what that is that I'm spraying or using on your hair. I'm the professional and you just sit there and let me do my job. That was literally like the energy of the salons that I frequented, because I was always one who would want to ask questions. And that would be the common response, very defensive, not really wanting to talk, not willing to share information. And a lot of that comes from just a scarcity mindset, believing that if you share something with someone, it's going to stop them from coming back. I can definitely vouch for the fact that me sharing information has never taken a dime out of my pocket. If anything, it builds a more solid relationship with the client. You being the client, you want to just look for people who are willing to teach you things about your hair, talk to you about your hair, not allow damage to happen, and they're just sitting there. Like, if something should happen, like in 2020 when we were quarantined, a lot of women found themselves now in a position where they have to do their own hair and they're clueless as to what to do. I was so proud during 2020 because I had so many clients who were emailing me and texting me, this is what I did with my hair. Like, they weren't even really asking questions, they were just showing me how they took over. And it was because the second a client is in the chair with me, I'm going to be talking to you about your hair. And some clients are like, hey, I don't want to hear it, this is what I'm paying you for. But for the most part, it serves as a comfort for clients, for you guys. So I do totally understand that. Again, vetting. When you book a consultation, you want to make sure that you're asking questions that are really important to you. If learning about your hair is something important to you, that's something I think you would be able to tell during the consultation. Because I have consultations all the time that are only supposed to be 15 minutes and they end up being 20, 25 minutes. Because I want to make sure that the client has gotten the information that they need. If you're wanting to get your hair done and also have the intention of learning something about your hair, you have to make sure that you're dealing with someone who is open to share information, and you can find that out during the consultation. And last but not least, this one right here is the most important: lack of overall communication, over trimming, being scissor happy. You go for a trim, you end up with a haircut. One thing that you can do to avoid that is to ask the stylist that you're trusting and that you're booking this trim with, how much is a trim? A trim is 3/4 of an inch or less. Anything over that is considered a cut. You equipping yourself with that knowledge, then that's how you would know. Now, when it comes to being scissor happy, that's a chance that you're kind of taking. I am the type of person where before I do a trim, I do before and afters so that the client can see exactly what needs to be removed. And I take pictures after so they can see the after effect. That's just what I do. My recommendation to you as the client would be to ask your stylist to do the same thing, even if they just do it with your phone. Ask them, can you please take a before picture because I'd like to see how much you're going to cut off. Dead's that being an issue right there. If the stylist has a problem with that, then again, you have a right to get up and leave. You have a right to not go back. Issue of heat damage. If you are a straight hair natural and prefer to wear your natural hair in a straight state, there is a difference between heat damage and heat training. These are some of the things that you want to educate yourself on. Heat damage is basically you've lost all elasticity. You have to transition out of it just like you would a relaxer. Heat training, you may lose elasticity, but it's not going to be total elasticity, and you definitely won't lose density. With heat damage, you will lose density. When your hair is heat trained, your hair is just as full. So even if you lose some elasticity, the fullness is still there. Color treating hair is another lack of communication. I don't color treat hair. I do offer henna services. I go over the entire process before I start. If you want to find a natural hairstylist who color treats hair, I always recommend to go to someone who specializes in the service that you want. Another thing that they're not communicating about is thinning edges, traction alopecia, going and getting your hair braided, going and getting a lace front installed, getting a sew-in, and you're sticking with the same stylist and you're noticing that your edges are thinning. but the stylist isn't saying anything. I can only imagine how frustrating that would be for you as the client. But this is where, again, you should always have some level of involvement. Having some level of, yes, we are the professionals, but you as the client being involved really sets the tone for the respect you're gonna get from the hairstylist. And that's the honest truth. Not everyone has integrity, and some people move with the attitude, well, if you don't care, I don't care. I'm gonna make sure you look cute and send you on your way. But when you're actually actively involved in the process, you don't have to necessarily know how to style your hair, but you know what is good for your hair, and you are actually a part of the process. You want to see when they take that weave down, when they take that lace front off, when you take your braids out, you're making assessments of your edges. You're not just sitting there blindly, let them do what they do month after month, year after year, and then something happens like quarantine and you can't get to them and you take your hair down and now your traction alopecia is severe. You have to be part of the process. And another issue with communication is not listening to the clients who know their hair. So I hear this a lot. There are a lot of clients out there who know your hair. You've been doing your hair, you shampoo, you deep condition, you have a solid regimen that you follow, and you stick to it. And because of that consistency, you have learned how your hair responds to things. Let's say you have an event. You can do your own hair, but you have an event and you want to spice it up a little bit and get something, a style that you might not necessarily know how to create. So you go to a natural hairstylist to have it done. Because this person has never been in your head, you're offering, hey, my hair works good with this, that. You may be asking, what are you using? Because this is what I use at home. You're involved with the process and they don't want to hear anything about it. They have the attitude, like I said before, the old school attitude, like I'm the professional, don't tell me what to do. All that is a red flag. A lot of the issues that clients are having that are making them say, forget natural hairstylists, are just things that you have a choice to continue to deal with or not. We can't have a business without you all. Once you guys start setting a standard in regards to what you're willing to accept treatment-wise, not just hairstyling-wise, but treatment-wise, then you're in the driver's seat. If someone's giving you bad customer service, if someone's being rude, if someone is being dismissive when you tell them that, hey, this works better on my hair than others, this is where you have a choice to now get up and patronize someone else. A lot of times, desperation to have your hair done can have you in the wrong person's chair. So do your due diligence and vet stylists accordingly. And the next communication issue is that a lot of natural hairstylists aren't honest about what they can't do style-wise. I agree, you guys have every right to be upset with that. If you ask for a certain style or you send that stylist a photo of what you want and they tell you they can do it, they should be able to stand on that. If they cannot stand on that, then that is an issue because that's the reason why you booked it. Again, self-accountability. Go to their Instagram page. Go to their style seat or whatever booking app where they're showing pictures of their hair. Facebook, whatever it is that they have where they're showcasing their styles. Being a hairstylist is like being an artist. No two are the same. That's with braiding and that's just with regular natural hairstyling. We use our hands differently. We're gifted in different ways. If you look at a person's Instagram, for instance, and they have hundreds of pictures, you're going to see a common look. You're going to see something that's really familiar that they do across the board. And this is where you use your discernment and say, I want 2-strand twists, but all I see are silk presses on the page. Maybe I shouldn't be going to her with 2-strand twists. Restoring trust really just means being honest and upfront, keeping the lines of communication open. If you're actively looking for a true natural hairstylist, be sure to watch my video, 10 Signs of a True Natural Hairstylist, all the way to the end, because that video is going to be extremely helpful in helping you choose the best stylist for you. It's going to be very helpful in your stylist vetting process, and it's going to increase the chances for you to find someone trustworthy who's going to be able to communicate with you every single step of the way. Thanks for watching. Be sure you like this video, share your experiences with natural hairstylists, positive or negative, and how you were able to address those things. And most of all, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more free tips that will help you build a loving relationship with your natural hair. Thank you, and see you in the next video.